Are you ready for another great episode from Season 2 of Take a Timeout with Dustin Sullivan? We're kicking off in 3, 2, 1.
Welcome to Take a Timeout with Dustin Sullivan, a production of the Can Do Group. Can Do Group is a 501c3 nonprofit provider of services for adults with developmental disabilities and is pleased to bring you this podcast. Today, Dustin's guest is Paige Blauvelt. She is a visual communication technology student here at BGSU. And I think instead of hitting on all of this right here, we'll ask it in the questions. Although I think I find it interesting that with Julie Davis that we just interviewed, which I'm hoping is broadcast before this one, it was interesting that she went into biology, and it says here that you were interested in marine biology. So that's kind of interesting, but we might hit on that here in a little bit. So are you ready, Dustin?
Yeah.
Okay, let's ask the first question.
Where are you from?
I'm actually from the Dayton area, which is where Julie was talking about this
Yeah.
whole time.
This is weird.
I'm like 30 minutes north of Dayton, so it's kind of like being from Toledo and then living in the Bowling Green area. So yeah, I just tell people I'm from Dayton because it's the biggest city in the area.
Where at in Dayton?
I'm about 30 minutes north of Dayton, so I'm actually from a really small town called Troy.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I know where.
Oh, cool. Yeah, the Strawberry Festival's there.
Yeah, well, you passed that on I-75 getting to Dayton,
It's a straight
Cincinnati.
shot all the way up here.
Yeah.
Where did you go to high school?
I went to a high school called Miami East, which is my graduating class was 99 people.
Oh my goodness.
It was pretty small. I loved it
small.
though, and we were in a small town called Casstown, which is right outside of Troy.
Okay, very
I've
cool.
heard of that city. Troy.
Yeah.
Do you have any siblings?
I do. I have a little brother. His name is Jonah, and he goes to Cincinnati.
Great school.
Yeah, it is a good school.
What do you like to do in your free time?
In my free time, I like to read, and I shoot photos just for fun as well. And I also like to draw a little bit.
I love drawing.
It's fun.
Stuff.
What kind of camera you have?
I have a Canon Rebel T7, so it's not like the newest.
That's more your line of work. Jody does all camera stuff.
That's what they use for sports, the cannons.
Yeah.
What was the first thing that made you interested in TV production?
Growing up, I just really loved film. Big Steven Spielberg fan, as most people are. He's amazing. Just my dad, I wouldn't even necessarily say that that's what he's passionate about. He just really likes movies. It was kind of one of those things where it's like, okay, I'm going to take a nap, so I'm going to put on PBS, and you guys are going to sit here and watch it and be quiet, and I'm going to take a nap on the couch. And that was just kind of how I grew up, was like once a day, it was nap time for Dad, not for us. We would just sit and watch TV while he was taking a nap on the couch. But I loved it. I loved it so much. And I never really considered making a career out of it for a very long time. It wasn't until I was a senior in high school. And even then, I wasn't actually going to do it. It was just something that I thought about doing. I was going to be a marine biologist. I even came to Bowling Green for marine biology. I was going to go through the whole tour of the facilities. But for whatever reason, the day that I came here, the facility was shut down. We couldn't do tours of it. And so he was like, well, what's your second option? And I was like, graphic design, but not graphic design. I don't want to work in a corporate company to work for their graphics, but something creative like that. He said, oh, well, what about VCT? And I was like, I don't know what that is, but sure. So I went and I toured the VCT facility, and then it was amazing. And Bowling Green's actually the only school that I applied to.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Though, that you found something that you like.
Yeah, it was great.
And all because marine biology was closed that day.
Actually, yeah.
Well, Julie, she went through 2 days and was like, no. She got her way in, but she didn't decide that was her thing either. So that's pretty
Steven
cool.
Spielberg got his fame from the Jurassic Park movies.
Yeah.
I don't
Great
know.
movies.
What was Steven Spielberg's first movie?
Do you know, Nick?
I actually don't know what the first one
What
was.
was the first movie, Julie?
Duel, wasn't it?
There's a lot of movies.
Yeah, he's got a lot. I'm not sure.
I
Steven Spielberg.
Spielberg. Yeah, I think you did the Duel.
don't. And then I remember him for E.T.
Yeah, I forgot about that
I
one.
mean, E.T. was
did
Jaws
right?
actually was really
Yeah,
early.
I think
that
that
was
was
in the
his first.
70s.
Yeah, that was one of his first ones.
I think
for
that
sure.
might have been
Yeah.
his first.
Yeah.
Yeah. Duel.
Oh,
Duel. I don't even know what that is.
Yeah, I've never even heard of that.
Watch it. You will love it.
I'm gonna watch it now.
Another movie I have to watch now.
I'll watch
You're
it too.
keeping us
Very
busy.
Has your mom and dad always supported your dreams?
Yeah, actually, I was kind of nervous about it because when you tell your family you're in film production, they're like, "Oh, you're gonna go out to Hollywood and you're gonna fail." Like that's what I was afraid everyone was gonna think of. Like, "Oh, well, you can't be Steven Spielberg, Paige. There's Steven Spielberg already exists." But I was a little bit nervous about it. But no, they all really were very supportive because I think that was one of the careers that I never really considered for myself. But as soon as I said it, everyone was like, "Oh yeah, that makes sense. You really like movies." I was like, "Okay."
That is so cool.
What is your favorite streaming service? Hulu, Netflix, Disney, YouTube,
Yes.
etc.
It definitely used to be Netflix, but Netflix has kind of fallen off a little bit. No offense, Netflix. But probably either HBO or Hulu. I like both of those equally, but they're so different. Like HBO is very much like reality TV, and like they have a couple really good series and movies as well. But HBO has the like Game of Thrones and more like dramas and things like that.
And we based that question out of knowing we were talking to somebody younger.
Yeah.
But it just dawned on me that PBS now could be like a launching pad for one of those
Yeah,
type of
HBO
places.
actually has Sesame Street streaming on it.
Yeah. So I mean, it could lead you into something else. One of these streaming services.
That would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
The show The Witcher should be with Game of Thrones and stuff. That, and it's on
Yeah.
Netflix.
Yeah, it is a Netflix
Makes no
produced
sense.
series, but yeah.
We already learned about why you chose Bowling Green.
Mm-hmm.
That was because they had the marine biology. Is
Yes,
that kind of what brought you here?
Also, the VCT program is pretty unique to Bowling Green. There
Okay.
are other colleges that have similar. Most of the time, it's called something like multimedia. But I liked Bowling Green's program for it specifically because in my VCT program, in order to graduate, I have to have 3 co-ops, which are kind of like internships. And so I really wanted to push myself to do that program because I wanted to have the experience before graduating college.
And you did mention that in something here about the 3 co-ops. We were interested. You said you did a print shop in your hometown,
Yes,
and you
yeah.
didn't like that. That was not
Yeah.
the route you want to go.
Well, I love the people who work there. I don't want to hate on the print shop just in case anybody sees it. I love working for you. It just wasn't
It's just
what I
not-
wanted to
yeah,
do.
yeah.
Yeah. But it was fine. It was just lots of mundane, everyday tasks. Whereas coming to work at the TV station, like every day is a little bit
Something
different.
new.
Yeah.
Kind of like my job. Something different every day.
Yes, exactly.
Yeah. Now you said you had to do 3 co-ops.
Mm-hmm.
Have you done all 3?
I have done 2 so far, and my 3rd one will be with the station again in the fall and spring.
Okay.
Print
nice.
shops. I love print shop.
Yeah.
Well, she
Print shops
Yeah,
are
some
pretty
people
she,
do.
cool.
she thought it was cool, but that's
It's
not
some
her
people.
thing. She
Yeah.
likes the more video type.
I like that stuff too.
Yeah.
When I think of co-ops, I think of Call of Duty.
Yeah.
3
I don't
co-ops.
actually know. I've never played Call of Duty. So what's co-op mean in Call of Duty?
Like a group of people.
Multiplayer.
Yeah, multiplayer.
Oh, okay. No, I know what that means. Gotcha.
Okay.
How many years of college do you have to go to for your degree?
I need 4, but then I'm also, after I graduate, I'm going to go into a master's program because I want to become a professor.
Oh, nice.
What college are you gonna go to for that?
I have no idea.
Oh,
I need to really start working on my portfolio and stuff for that. Yeah.
There's a lot of good colleges for that.
There's lots. I want to go somewhere where there's a beach because I've never lived by a beach before. And since I was really into marine biology, I think it would be cool to spend some time by the ocean.
Yeah.
Like Florida Gulf Coast, that'd be cool places.
Yeah, that would be really cool.
What has been your most favorite class at EGSU?
Okay, so this one actually is not related to my major at all. It was just a fun filler class that I took. But I took a metals class and we made jewelry the whole semester.
Yay.
And that was really fun.
Yeah. So you kind of have a creative artsy background
Yeah.
too. It seems like you may have to kind of have that to be in
Just a
this
little
job.
bit, I think, yeah.
Yeah.
What kind of things are there to do around campus?
Oh gosh. Well, I go to the movies all the time, so I would say that for sure. of course, we're a college town, so all the bars are pretty cool to go to. I was like, do I say that?
That kind of ties in with the second question. What kind of things are there to do in Bowling Green?
Oh, yes. Yeah, we're a very popular bar town. Even, I mean, if you're a college within 45 minutes of here, you come to Bowling Green to go out to our bars, because I guess we have a good bar scene. I don't know. I don't really go out to the bars all that often, to be honest.
Yeah.
I am a bartender, though, which is kind of funny. Like, I work there, but I don't choose to go out and about.
So you have a ability to bartend.
Yes.
Oh,
yeah.
my goodness.
Yeah. Kind of. I just started. But yeah, there's also a putt-putt golf course about 20 minutes north of here.
Right.
What bar in Bowling Green is it?
That I work at?
Yeah.
It's called Clazelle's, and it used to be a movie theater, actually.
Oh, that's
pretty
cool.
Yeah, it's really cool.
Your whole life is full circle already, and
It
you're
truly
only
is.
how old?
21.
Do you hang out at coffee shops?
Oh yeah, my favorite coffee shop downtown is called Grounds for Thought. I was just there this morning, actually, and it's also a bookstore, used bookstore.
Yeah, I think I was there once. They were having some poetry thing or
yeah,
something.
probably.
Yeah, in the evening, and I was like, "What is going on?"
Yeah,
here?
I love going then because I don't want to like interrupt anything by accident. I just like going and looking at all the books and drinking my coffee.
Yeah, and well, it just seemed like anybody could walk up, and I'm like, "Yeah, no,
Yeah, I was like,
stay out of this. I don't want to be like involved."
Peer pressure.
Yeah.
I love coffee shops because I like to try all the different flavors and all the good smells.
Yeah, yes, I love the way it smells when I,
love
walk in.
coffee smell too.
Have you had to work somewhere while going to college?
Yes, I mean I work at this station during school, and then I also last year worked at Frickers for a semester, which was fine. But then when I went and studied abroad, I just didn't go back. And then I also am a bartender now. There was something else. What did I do before that? I don't remember. Must not have been very important.
Well, you hit on your studying abroad. How does that tie in with your major and everything else that you studied abroad in Austria for a semester?
In short, it does not. I kind of took a little bit of a gamble. I knew that I was going to be fine because I came into Bowling Green with so many credits from high school that I could have graduated a semester early, or I could have just taken a whole bunch of fun classes and just kind of like still graduated within the 4 years. But instead, I decided to go do a semester abroad. I didn't really relate to anything that I was doing. I just knew that I really wanted to travel. In junior high, actually, there was this program that one of my friends was a part of where he would go to like Puerto Rico or he went somewhere else, somewhere out of the country. I'm not really sure, but it was just so expensive, and you had to like there were no scholarships that you could apply for. It was just something that your family had to be able to afford to do.
Right.
And I couldn't do that. And so I knew that I wanted to try to do it in college when scholarships and things like that would be available. And so thankfully I was able to do that.
What a neat opportunity. I never even thought about the fact that high school credits could lead up to you doing like a study abroad program
or something. I was so
or
fortunate
something.
that most of my teachers in high school had the credentials to teach college level classes. And so I took a lot of college level classes in high school, just regular with my same teachers who were teaching me for 4 years. So yeah.
What was your favorite thing to do while you were studying abroad?
What
was the neatest
hiking,
experience?
probably. Okay, so we were in Salzburg, Austria, and we're in this kind of like a little valley, and so you can see a couple mountains, but you can't, like, you're down in the city, so like most of the time you just see buildings and things. And there's this one relatively small mountain that's right next to where we were living, and we hiked to the base of the mountain and then hiked to the top. And I think in total it took us about 3.5 hours to get to the top. And when you got to the top of that mountain, just because you were above all the buildings, you could see the entire Alps mountain range.
Oh my gosh.
And that was really, really cool.
Oh, I bet you have some
Beautiful.
amazing photos with your photography too.
Yes. Oh, and I was very fortunate. The TV station actually let me borrow a camera lens to take with me.
Oh
so
my
I took
gosh.
a camera lens with me to Austria. I don't know if you knew that, but, but I did.
I would love to go to Austria. It's really beautiful.
Yes, it was very cool. And of course, lots of like World War II things were happening there. So lots of monuments and things like that.
That is amazing.
I would like Austria because they have like German food.
Yes, schnitzel was very popular. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
And also, they don't really I mean, they have fast food places, but their most popular like fast food was gyros. Those like
The egg churro.
yeah, like gyros, like gyros,
Yeah,
euros, however
yeah.
you want to say it. They were like little pop-up stands everywhere.
Huh.
That's cool.
Yeah, they're really good too.
I think the interesting thing about Austria is people hit on the very touristy spots, like, Paris and, in Greece and in Italy and all of that. But you never think of Austria as being one of those places to visit.
Yeah.
So I bet you got to experience more
Yes.
authentic,
Yeah.
like Europe instead of just like the whole
the
touristy
touristy
stuff.
part, yeah.
Yeah.
Like Salzburg I would be considered a touristy town. There were lots of tourists there, but not because Mozart was from Salzburg, so that was
Oh.
why people would go there. But not super into classical music, so that I didn't
Right,
really hit any
right.
of those touristy attractions. Oh, and The Sound of Music was also filmed in Salzburg, so there was a Sound of Music tour bus that would go by every single day. People were on there, but those were pretty much the only two like really big touristy things. Everything else was very like authentic European. It was really cool.
Yeah.
I've heard of that place before.
Really?
I have actually heard
The
of it.
Austria, yeah.
Because my grandpa was in service. He went.
He was in Austria?
Yeah.
Oh, cool.
Yeah, she was talking about World War II.
What is your favorite food?
Oh gosh, I love food. For a while there, I definitely would have said anything Mexican food because Europeans don't have Mexican food. It did not exist over there.
That surprises me.
Yeah, they have Spanish food, which is different from Mexican food. Like the flavor profiles are very different. We did go to a Mexican restaurant, and it was kind of like a Chipotle, so it was a little bit more fast food than it was, but it was not Chipotle. And that came out and it had barbecue sauce on it. Europeans love barbecue sauce. They put it on everything apparently. And I was like, oh, this is so good, but also this is not Mexican food.
That is not. We don't add barbecue
No.
sauce to our Mexican food, no.
Assuming you have helped in the BG PBS studio, have you had any experience at another TV production studio?
No, I have never worked in another TV production studio before. Nope. Actually, I was trying to think if there was anything that I'd done, but I don't think there is.
Okay, okay.
What are you most proud? What are you most proud of?
Honestly, I just love telling people I work for PBS. I think that's such a cool title to have. Kind of going back to studying abroad in Austria, I took a like a politics class of Austria, like an Austrian history class basically, where like Austrians were teaching me about Austria. And one of the segments of that class was media there. And they talked about how they were really proud of their public broadcasting services. Most European countries actually are very strict with like public broadcasting. They don't have private owned corporations that control the media. And then, of course, he talked about how America has lots of privately owned corporations that control the media. And I was just sitting there like, yeah, we do. But I actually work for a public broadcasting service. So that was very cool.
That is cool.
If you could be any superhero, what would it be? Who would you be?
Who would I be? Oh, gosh. I'm kind of torn between wanting to have a superpower and just wanting to be Batman. Because Batman is super cool, but also, like, I want to have an actual superpower.
Batman is cool
Yeah.
because he hides in the shadows.
Yeah, and he just created
What
himself.
superpower?
He
then?
doesn't... Oh, what superpower? Probably... My instinct is to say that I really want to fly, but then, like, people can see me, and it's not a very secret superpower, so probably turning invisible would be the best one.
An invisible flyer.
Yeah, if I could have both, it would be invisible and flying.
I'd be afraid to fly because I think I'd run into a plane or
Oh,
something.
yeah. All the, like, satellites are like, what is that?
What would be your superpower?
Hyperspeed
You want to be fast.
and be able to have like the Force, like Yoda.
That would be so cool.
Have
Yeah.
the force like Yoda. Mine always has been wanting to control time. I don't know. There's something
Like freeze it.
like just time machine, anything. But that ability to control time,
Yeah,
whether
that's really
to go
cool.
back in time, go forward in time, just
You can
bounce
do
all
that
over.
if you have super speed, too. Kind of. Like, have you seen the X-Men clip where the guy, like the building is exploding and he goes in and everyone's like frozen because he's moving so fast.
True.
Yeah.
True. But I think I want to control it a little bit more.
Yeah.
I don't want things happening around me. I want to just stop.
Stop it.
Where do you see yourself in 5 years?
In 5 years, let's see. Well, I'm going to go to grad school, so that's another 2 years of college experience. And then after that, I want to own my own photography company. That is currently the goal. But I do really love working for TV and film as well. So I want to kind of hop around to a couple of different companies and explore more of what I like before I commit to one genre of work, especially if I'm going to open my own company.
So you kind of like to have the videography, photography, all of that combined, like that being behind the lens in general for you. Okay.
If you had 3 wishes granted by a genie in a magic lamp, what would they be?
Oh gosh. World peace. Equality. I feel like world peace and equality aren't necessarily the same thing, so definitely equality for everybody. I feel like that's a really important one. And then I'll maybe be selfish with my last one. I kind of want to have another house somewhere in the world so I can go travel to it whenever I want, but also like I can rent it out and be making money from it on the side. So that's what I'm going to say.
That'd be cool.
Yeah.
Now for the famous final question. Do you consider a hot dog a sandwich?
Oh gosh, I was thinking about this when you asked. I guess ultimately, yes, it is a sandwich, but I would consider it a subcategory of sandwich, and that it is a sub sandwich because it doesn't have 2 separate pieces of bread. It's just the one that folds.
Very good.
Yeah, it does.
Very good.
I would consider that too because it is sub form. And burgers and stuff are round.
Yeah, I didn't think about that.
Never thought of it that way.
Yeah. Unless you like cut
Yeah.
the hot dog into little no.
I like all the
little miniature sandwiches.
What's a corn dog? I've never thought about that before.
Fried food on a stick.
Yeah, but it's breaded.
It's definitely not a sandwich.
No.
It's not a sandwich.
I think it
own
might be in the
special-
fried
it's
category.
a meat sucker.
Yeah.
It's in the lollipop family.
Okay, well, thank you for taking a time out with Dustin Sullivan today. It was nice getting to know you, Paige.
It was great.
And we hope everyone else enjoyed getting to know a little bit about you, too.
I
So,
appreciate doing this.
Yeah, that was
It's
fun.
fun.
Thank you for taking the time with
course.
us.
And that's all, folks. Beep.
Thank you for joining today's podcast of Take a Time Out with Dustin Sullivan, a production of Can Do Group. This podcast is made possible by the support of local businesses and community members like you. Thank you. Want to be part of the action? You can help Can Do Group continue supporting adults with developmental disabilities by donating at www.candogroup.org.